Megan Rose Parker, 28, is the forgotten daughter in a family that worships perfection. Her older sister Jessica is the star, beautiful, accomplished, adored. Megan has spent years trying to earn a sliver of affection from her parents, Patricia and Michael, who treat her as a burden rather than a daughter. When she pours her heart into planning Jessica's wedding and makes one small mistake, the fragile illusion of family shatters. Her parents' cruelty peaks. They tell her the best gift she could give is to disappear. Instead of breaking, Megan decides to take them at their word. She vanishes, sells everything, freezes the family accounts, and rebuilds her identity in a coastal town far away. But the ghosts of Woodhaven chase her, lies, accusations, and the endless question of whether she can truly escape the family that never wanted her. The story closes with her rebirth, not revenge, but quiet triumph. Rain whispered against the porch roof as I stood outside my parents' house, holding the box that wasn't heavy until I realized what it carried. Inside were centerpieces I'd spent weeks perfecting, tiny glass orbs with floating candles, meant to glow softly at my sister's wedding tomorrow. Through the window, I could see Patricia rearranging silverware for the rehearsal dinner. Every fork had to gleam, every napkin had to fold into her idea of grace. I'd memorized her rules years ago. I stepped in, forcing a smile. Got the last batch. She didn't look up. Where's the rest? The rest? I blinked, lifting the lid. Her voice sliced the air. You forgot one, didn't you? Michael closed his ledger with a sigh, the sound of judgment disguised as fatigue. Megan, you can't keep failing at simple things. The floorboards seemed to tilt beneath me. For 28 years, I'd been collecting their disappointments like souvenirs. The wrong outfit. The wrong job. The wrong daughter. It's one box, I managed. I'll grab it. Patricia turned, face cold as porcelain. The greatest gift you could give your sister is to disappear for once. Michael didn't flinch. She's right. Something inside me cracked, not loud, but final. I set the box down on the counter, the glass inside clinking like a heartbeat breaking apart. Jessica stood at the stairs, arms crossed, her fiancé shifting behind her. She didn't speak. Didn't blink. Fine, I said, surprising myself with how calm I sounded. You'll get your gift. The door slammed behind me, echoing across the porch. Outside, the rain turned to thunder. For the first time in my life, I didn't cry. I drove back to my apartment with the wipers fighting the storm, my reflection flickering in the windshield, a ghost fading out of the picture frame. I didn't set an alarm the next morning. My phone lit up with messages I ignored, rehearsal update, need your help, where are you? Instead, I watched the wedding on a friend's live stream. Shaky footage, poor lighting, still, it captured perfection. Jessica in her white gown, my parents glowing beside her, champagne glasses raised to the sky. They looked lighter, freer, as if my absence had been the missing piece to their happiness. The chat scrolled with comments, beautiful family. Perfect day. I laughed, a sound that tasted like salt. Something inside me hardened, not bitterness, but bone. If disappearing made them happy, maybe it could finally make me whole. That night I pulled my laptop closer. I opened every account, every file with my name, and started closing them one by one. My marketing job. My apartment listing. My bank connections. Every click felt like scissors through a tangled net. When the screen asked, "Are you sure?" I whispered, "Yes." The room smelled of melted candle wax and freedom. I packed quietly, a journal, a navy dress, the sapphire necklace I'd once bought for Jessica but never gave her. As dawn broke over Woodhaven, the town looked like a photograph of someone else's life. I left the keys on the counter, locked the door, and didn't look back. The highway stretched like a ribbon of forgiveness. 3 days of driving, gas stations, diners, and cheap motels where no one asked my name twice. By the time I reached the South Carolina coast, my reflection looked different. Sun-touched, hollow-eyed, alive. Tidewater greeted me with salt air and gulls that screamed like they were warning or welcoming. I rented a weathered cottage that leaned toward the marsh, windows sticky with humidity. The landlord handed me keys and said, "Month to month is fine, Miss Parker." Elaine, I corrected, using my middle name for the first time as armor. Inside, the cottage smelled of wood and sea. I sat on the floor, cross-legged, surrounded by silence, a silence that didn't judge. I built a freelance site that night, Elaine Parker, marketing design, brand storytelling. My first client emailed within a week. The payment notification made me cry harder than the wedding had. At the cafe in town, a woman named Maria slid me coffee and said, "You new here?" "Just passing through," I lied. She smiled. "People don't pass through Tidewater. They hide here until they remember who they are." I smiled back, unsure whether to thank her or run. 3 weeks later, the ghosts found me. My old phone buzzed, dozens of missed calls, then a headline from a Woodhaven community page. Local woman accused of stealing family funds, ruining sister's wedding. Patricia's post. Photos of Jessica in her gown. My name dragged through the comments like dirt. She stole from her parents. Ungrateful child. I sat frozen, coffee cooling beside me. The trust I'd set up to protect their accounts had become their weapon. They couldn't touch the money, so they'd tried to destroy me instead. I forwarded the post to Stephen, my lawyer. He replied within minutes, "Ignore them. The truth's documented." But truth doesn't trend. Lies do. Maria noticed my shaking hands as I ordered refills. "Family trouble?" I nodded. "Then don't feed it," she said. "Starve the beast that bit you." Her words anchored me. That night I walked the shoreline, letting the tide erase my footprints faster than I could make them. Maybe that's all disappearance really was, letting the ocean decide which parts of you remain. A voicemail arrived the next morning. Patricia's voice, "Your mother's in the hospital. You need to come home." I didn't. Instead, I called Dr. Evans, her physician, who confirmed what I suspected, not a heart attack, just another panic episode. Jessica emailed, "I'm sorry. They went too far. Please come home so we can fix this." Fix. As if I were furniture with a loose leg. I walked to the marsh, phone in hand, and pressed record, not for them, but for me. "My name is Megan Rose Parker," I began. "If you're seeing this, it means I finally stopped begging for love that hurts. Families can break you quietly, with smiles and toasts. Mine did. But leaving isn't betrayal when staying is slow death." I didn't post it. I just saved it, proof that I'd spoken the truth, at least once, even if no one heard it. Back at the cottage, I painted for the first time in years, swirling blues and silvers that looked like water and forgiveness. Months passed. The accusations burned out online, attention moved on. My work grew steady. Maria became a friend. I laughed again, small, real laughter that didn't echo off someone else's approval. One evening, as sunset bled over the marsh, I opened the journal I'd carried since Kansas and wrote the last entry under my old name. Megan Rose Parker ceased to exist the day her family wished her gone. Elaine Parker learned how to breathe where no one could tell her she was taking up too much space. I tore the page out, folded it once, and set it on the porch railing. The wind lifted it, carried it out over the water until it vanished. The sky darkened, the crickets began their endless chorus, and for the first time in my life, the silence didn't mean I was alone. It meant I was free.